This is going to be for our levels warm-up number 1. So everything is going to be 20 yards. We got the 2 cones marked out at 20 yards. Everything's always going to be a jog down. So George, start down with us. Just jog down, jog back. We want to make sure that the athletes are touching the lines with their feet. They don't have to touch them with their hands. One more time, jog down, jog back. We do all the drills 2 times just to accommodate for some of the drills that we have to go facing each direction for right leg and left leg. Nothing fancy, they're just jogging. Next one then is going to be jog down, back pedal back. Jog down, back pedal back. On the back pedal, we want things staying on the balls of our feet, shoulders leaning forward with some good arm action. No hurry on it though, again, we're just warming up. And then one more time, jog it down, back pedal back. Our next one's going to be then jog down, slide back. So he's going to jog down, slide back, facing the track. Same deal, he's going to stay on the balls of his feet, keep his toes, hips, shoulder, head facing sideways. Little bend in the hips and knees on it, nothing crazy. But we want to make sure they're staying sideways. And then jog it down, slide back, facing the court. Again, you don't want them to where their hips are facing forward. Everything stays facing sideways, and there's no hurry. And then the last one before we do some stretching, we're going to jog it down, nice easy skip coming back. We do a lot of skipping. We want to make sure we can get a good skip down, good coordination. Nice easy skip. We're not trying to do anything spectacular. And one more time, jog it down, skip back. Good. All right, now here's where we would take a break and do some dynamic flexibility. So the dynamic flexibility I usually use for this one, which you can watch on another video, would be walking toe touch for 10 yards. Every step's a rep. Then we get into our knee tuck, 10 yards. Every step's a rep. Quadricep stretch, opposite arm reach, 10 yards. Every step's a rep. And I'd finish with the figure 4, 10 yards. Every step's a rep. So that's going to take 2-3 minutes for the athletes to get between that. Gives them their chance to catch their breath a little bit. Then we go back to our running. So our next series is our karaoke. So they're going to jog down. On the way back, they get the karaoke. I do not care how fast that goes. What we're looking for is to pick that front knee up nice and high. All right, it doesn't have to be fast. I want it big. We're just warming up. I want the hip flexor to get warmed up, the groin to get loosened up. Again, they need to stay sideways on it. Stay sideways, toes, hips, shoulders, head, facing the track. So, George, jog it down, karaoke back, facing the track. Front knee comes up nice and high. Don't care how fast. Want it nice and big. Good. Right like that. Stand on the ball of your foot. And jog it down, same thing other direction. Got to stay sideways, got to stay facing sideways and pick the front knee up. If they're unable to get the footwork, picking their front knee up, then just have them try and get the footwork, keeping their feet down low, knees down low. The knee is up high ideally, but if they're unable to get it right away, then no big deal. Now, we're going to break that movement down to just a crossover run and the cross under run. So the crossover run is going to be next. All they're doing is bringing the front knee across. All right, so it's just like the karaoke, but the foot does not go behind. Front knee comes up high and across. And this is a tricky one for their mind and feet to get on the same page sometimes. So if they need to start just where they're going low with it, that's okay. But eventually we wanted to try and pick that front knee up high and across. George, jog it down, cross over, run, back, facing the track. Knee up high and across, doesn't have to be fast, but we want it big. Good, that's a great job. Good, jog it down, crossover, run back. Facing the court. Knee up high and across. Again, if they're struggling with the footwork and getting a foot behind every now and then, just let them stay down low with it, slow it down. Everything stays facing sideways. So then we have the exact opposite. All right, we have the exact opposite, which is our cross under run. So the trail leg, instead of going in front, is going to go behind. I still stay facing sideways, but that trail leg comes behind. Slow as they need to be, nothing's going to be high or big on this one, just working on the mind and feet working together. George, jog it down. Cross under run, back, facing the track. And jog it down, cross under run, facing the court. Stay sideways, don't let them get their hips back facing you. You want to loosen them up. And then we're going to finish this chunk of the movement with reverse skip. So for reverse skip, they're skipping backwards, but I want them to keep their knees up in front of them. What we don't want to see on the reverse skip is them being down here like this. All right, so reverse skip, pick that knee up, nice and high, staying on the ball of their foot, lots of reps. Jog it down easy, reverse skip coming back. We want the knee up high. We don't want to see them coming back like this. Good. Now get the movement down with the mind and the feet, and then they can worry about some arm action and things like that from that. And one more time. Good. Knees up high, nice and light, quick on the feet. All right, so then we would get into another series of dynamic flexibility, and here's where we bring in our squatting and lunging. So it's generally 10 body weight squats. We lunge 20 yards down the turf. We get our 2 seconds down, 2 seconds up, 10 repetitions. 10 more body weight squats. Do our reverse lunge coming back 20 yards. And then hit 2 seconds down, 2 seconds up, 10 repetitions again. Working on some strength, and then also giving the athletes a chance to catch their breath in between all the running. We finish the running and we finish warm-up 1 with our skips and our sprinting. So our next one would be, we're going to jog it down. On the way back, we're going to skip, but we're going to skip for distance. So we're trying to get the athletes from the 30-yard line to the 10-yard line in as few skips as possible. All right, so they're really putting a lot of force into the ground and going as far as they can. A lot of force into the ground, aggressive arm action, again, driving that knee up and out. We want them to start the skips for distance right at the 30-yard line. The tendency a lot of times is they'll run for 4 or 5 yards and then get into it. We want them to start the skip for distance right at the 30. So George, jog it down easy. Skips for distance, coming back. That 20 yards, far as you can. That's perfect. So again, with a little smaller athletes like that we deal with, they should easily be able to get 2 skips every 5 yards. All right, so 10 skips ought to get them back pretty easily. One more time, George. Jog it down, skip for distance, coming back. Power, aggressiveness, a lot of force into the floor. Big, there you go. Good, so then next is our skips for height. Skips for height, we're going up nice and high. It doesn't have to be fast, but we want a lot of force going up. One thing we got to make sure is that when they're skipping, we're going opposite arm, opposite leg. That's the correction we got to make. If they're skipping and going same arm, same leg, we got to stop that and get them opposite arm, opposite leg. There should be a lot of force going into the ground for a lot of height up. So we're skipping for height now. There should be more skips for height than we had skips for distance. Jog it down easy, George. Skip for height. Coming back. Big, up, up. Good. Up. There you go. Up. Nice job. One more time. Jog it down, skip for height. Good, big. And then we finish with jog it down, sprint back. All right, so we want them to jog it nice and easy, but when they hit that 30-yard line down there, when they get their 20 yards, boom, they turn and sprint it back hard. Jog it easy, sprint it hard, and then the running one is done after these two. Touch and bring it back. Nice job. They'll decelerate. We'll say, all right, we're going to do that one more time. Jog it down easy, sprint it back nice and hard. Good job. So they finish up with that. Then again, we would finish with some dynamic flexibility. Generally a 10-yard soldier forward, 10-yard shoulder back, get into our crawls, bear crawl forward, bear crawl backwards, bear crawl lateral, lateral, crab walk forward, crab walk backwards, crab walk lateral, lateral, and then let them get a drink and move on to the reactive part of the day. And that's running warm-up number 1.